There's been a lot of attention to visualizing what you want and as a way of manifesting that in your life. But again, a lot of times that doesn't work because there are internal barriers to, like dragging in anchors while you're trying to sail a boat. So that needs to be attended to first before we can use that creative visualization for manifesting in our lives. But once we've created those barriers, then it can be very useful. One thing it does, it helps us open up new neural pathways. If we've had an old belief system, for example, that I'm not lovable, I'll never attract anybody loving into my life, if I clear that belief, that's an important step. But that means that information has been flowing through neural pathways, like water flows through a creek bed. It's eroded a channel there for that water to flow. And so if that continues to remain there and there are no new channels open, it's going to be easy to fall back into the old thought patterns that go with that old belief system. So I may need to open up some new neural pathways, like a new bed for that creek water to flow. And I think there are several ways we can do it, but there's one that I like that brings a lot of different things together. It stimulates the both hemispheres of the brain. It sends subtle energies through the entire brain. It stimulates the left side of the brain by the statement, and stimulates the right side of the brain by the creative imagery. We anchor an emotion in our bodies, and so it encompasses a whole lot of different things to help us focus that. And I find that by practicing it about a month, just 2 or 3 minutes, a couple of times a day, that it seems to be successful in opening up those new neural pathways. And it's very simple. It's just placing one hand upon your forehead, the other hand in the back of the head over what's the occipital lobe, and you're sending subtle energies, believe it or not, right through all the brain. And then I ask people just to close their eyes and to relax and to focus on the new belief system, what it is they're wanting to manifest. It might be that I am lovable. I will attract a loving person into my life. And ask them to focus on that and begin to repeat it to themselves. And as they repeat it to themselves, I ask them to say it with authority and to say it meaningfully. And then I would ask them to say it, emphasize in different words each time. And then I'd ask them to make up an image that would represent that statement. So now you're bringing the right brain into it, to bring the imagery that would actually represent that positive statement. And then once they bring those together, it probably is going to bring up an emotion. They might feel happier, or they might feel loving. But whatever it is, ask them to identify that emotion and see where they feel it in their body. And then I'd like them to make the pronouncement of declaration, a sense about it, to firmly and aloud say, I now know all this to be true, and I know it to the depths of my being. Well, that pronouncement in itself is making a commitment to yourself to hang on to that belief. It's not just, oh, I should change it, I should think differently. But you're actually making a declaration. You're standing up and saying it. And then I ask them to focus on it again, that statement and the image, the body sensation that goes with the feeling, and then just to sit there and move their eyes looking left and right, about 15 or 20 times, looking back and forth, left and right. And as they do that 15 or 20 times, they're synchronizing the communication with left and right hemispheres of the brain. All that together, I find, helps to open up those new neural pathways and allows the change to take place internally, which means that in that change takes place internally, they're thinking more of the thoughts continually that support it. They're living out the beliefs that support it. That means they emanate a different information or an energy field, magnetic force field to the world around them. All that together means they're more likely to attract that to themselves.